be successful as a city, our community network has to be strong. Our businesses have to be strong. Our network organizations, our nonprofits have to be strong. And so on behalf of the city, I want to implore you guys to reach out to us, to connect with us as mayor and city council. And as many times you will see, I'm here tonight representing the city, but I'm proud to have my mayor pro tem and city councilman for our 5th district, TJ Ferguson's in the house tonight. Please give him a round of applause. You know, just as I cannot lead the city alone, I need our city council people aboard. You know, the Epicenter can't do the great work that they do alone. It takes all of you. It takes a network of organizations, of dedicated people to help move this great opportunity along. And the Western Gateway is, I think, a very great way to explain where we sit, right? The position that we have, you know, to Douglas County, Lithia Springs, Douglasville, they all drive through here every single day coming to work. And what we have to do is make sure that we're amenable to that, right? We want to make sure that we are part of that. I do not want this area to simply be a drive-through part of Cobb County. I want this to be an area where you stop and enjoy yourself, to stop where you relax, take advantage of everything the Epicenter has here, because he's right. There's lots of things to do here, lots of things that they have to host. I will also add one thing you didn't mention, as the Epicenter also hosts our city council meetings. So thank you for that. But there's lots of great opportunities we have here, but we do want to make sure that people stop when they're going through I-28. They stop along the interstate, get off on this exit, and enjoy more of the things that we have to offer. You know, when I was getting off of the exit today, coming from Midtown, I came around the corner and it said, "Welcome to South Cobb." And I love the fact those signs were there. It took a lot of us a lot of time and effort to make that happen. But I also want to make sure we put a sign maybe beside of it that says, "Welcome to Mableton" as well, because that's going to be important. It is going to be important to make sure that people know that when they come through, they have a place to stop that's going to be engaging, that's going to be inviting, that there's going to be things to do, that no longer will you have to go into Atlanta or to Midtown or to Smyrna or Vinings or Roswell to have a nice place to eat. Right? If you want to get an exercise, full complement exercise center that's going to be right, that is right here. If you want to bring your kids, as my son wants to shoot hoops all the time, it was the first question I think he asked Dr. Boyd was, "Hey, how do I get a membership?" He didn't follow up with me about that either, too, so I got to find out and let him know. But sincerely, on behalf of the city of Mableton, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being engaged and involved. The work we do as a new city government is a lot of that success is going to rest on you guys, right? We're going to lean into our business community. We're going to lean into our nonprofit organizations, and we're going to ensure that we all grow as a community that's loving, that's caring, that supports each other, and ensures that everyone, not only everyone west of here, everyone east of here, north of here, and south of here, understands that this community is a great community to live, work, play, and visit in. Thank you all. I appreciate you joining again tonight. My name is Michael Owens. I'm your humble servant, Mayor of Mableton. Thank you for being here again. Bye.
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor Owens, and we're grateful to be the host of the initial meetings for the new City of Mableton City Council. And, you know, the room last week, how many of you live in Mableton now? Just raise your hands. Okay, good. Good number of you. Last week was the first official city council meeting, and it was standing room only in the room. So there is great interest in what's happening with the city, and we collectively, the business community, but also the residents of this area, deserve to be informed. And so please do engage as you all learn more about how the city council is moving forward with its work. Well, we're now shifting into the information component of our time together tonight. And I have the great honor to introduce the topic tonight, Creative Strategies to Fill Workforce Gaps. And our host of the panel that's going to be coming forward is Ms. Sonia Grant. So I'm going to invite Ms. Sonia to come on out as I read her bio. Ms. Sonia is president and CEO of CobbWorks, doing business as WorkSource Cobb here in Marietta, Georgia. Cobb County's designated workforce development agency. How many of you have engaged for your business with CobbWorks at all? Excellent. We got a few hands in the audience. Excellent. CobbWorks is here for you and your business, so we encourage you to please take advantage of that service. CobbWorks targets low-income populations with programs that improve education, alleviate poverty, and serve as a pipeline for employees and employers, providing them with talent recruitment, training, and sourcing strategies. As an experienced CEO with a demonstrated 25-plus year history of working in government and nonprofit administration, Sonia leads CobbWorks' strategic efforts, providing access to a system of industry sectors, career pathways, employment, training, and education resources that service youth, adults, and employers, serving more than 8,000 annually. And that's enough to put your hands together for. So, ladies and gentlemen, won't you please welcome the moderator of our panel, again, the topic, Creative Strategies to Fill Workforce Gaps, Ms. Sonia Grant, as she comes today.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it. That was a very nice introduction, very impressive. I'm Sonia Grant, and I'm the president and CEO of Workspace Cobb. We are also known as CobbWorks, which is our nonprofit arm. We're Cobb County's designated workforce development agency. We've actually been in business for 23 years. How many folks in the audience, I can't see you very well, but how many folks in the audience have utilized our services? Okay, I see a few hands. That's fantastic. We've been around for 23 years. We have an office in Marietta, and we're currently also opening an office right down here in South Cobb at the Mableton Fire Station. Thank you. Really excited about that. The old Mableton Fire Station will be transformed into a workforce development center and a co-working space. It should be open sometime soon in the fall or winter of this year, and I hope that you guys will be able to utilize those services. Looking forward to continuing to serve you. Now, we have a fantastic panel joining us today, and I'm confident that we're much in for a robust and interesting conversation. In a moment, I'm going to introduce our panelists. I want this conversation to be engaging, and I'm looking forward to you guys jumping in and asking any questions you may have. So let's get started. To start with, we have Robert Gorilli, who is an experienced professional with over 25 years of technology, product marketing, management, and sales expertise. And he's held senior marketing and leadership roles at Proliant, Engage, Talent, Illuminate 360, EchoWorks, and Yahoo. Please give Robbie a round of applause, you guys. He'll be joining us today. In addition to Robbie, we also have Rachel Davis. Rachel is the current executive director of Greater Wealth Works, an economic development agency that's focused on income strategy and asset accumulation. Rachel has been in economic development for over 25 years, starting initially at Spelman College, entrepreneurial project in the 90s, and later at Goodwill Industry. Please join us in welcoming Rachel. Also joining us is Cherie Knowles. Cherie Knowles is an experienced talent executive with over 25 years of HR leadership and project management experience. She's the founder of 2 human capital and talent management firms, Human Capital Consulting Consortium and HR Knowledge Works. HR Knowledge Works was actually recognized as one of the 2021 top 30 small businesses of the year in Cobb County. Please welcome Cherie Knowles. Congratulations, Cherie. And last but certainly not least, we have Adam Legister. Adam is a motivated professional with 20 years of expertise in multimedia production, sales, and technical services. He currently serves as the Director of Sales and Technical Services at the Riverside Epicenter. Please join me in welcoming Adam Legister. Thank you guys for joining us today. Sorry about that. Thank you so much.
Just have to test it and make sure.
So let's talk a little bit about the new employee landscape. We've been living in some truly unprecedented times. I think you guys can all agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
And I would say that the employees that we're currently experiencing are much different from what we've experienced in the past. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I know that for us, as a workforce agency, we work with employers every day, and our employers are screaming, where is the talent, right? And when we're hiring new talent, for us as a workforce agency, we've had to change our approach, to be very honest with you. And I'm sure you guys as employers have experienced much of the same. Can you talk a little bit about how you would describe today's employee? Anyone want to go, or should I call someone's name? Anyone?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay, thanks, Sherry.
So working in the human resources space, we come across clients and candidates all of the time, and we have companies who are looking for a certain type of employee, skill set or culture fit, but then when we're talking to the candidates, the first thing they ask us, is this job remote? Or if not, how often can I work from home? So it used to be, how much does the job pay? But that's like the second, third, or fourth question these days. So I would say that's very different.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyone else?
Because working remote
Yes.
is worth something by itself.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
I think often people want to know about it because there's been a transition, and those who didn't get to benefit from the transition of remote life, if you're going to make a career change or a job change, you're going to want to see how you can benefit from that. So
Absolutely.
that's one of the things that often you're going to look for.
Right. And they're willing to take a lower salary if they have these other perks, these other opportunities.
Absolutely. Later, sleep is worth a few dollars. Absolutely.
I would add, I think the most powerful word in the English language is the word why. Most employees or employee candidates that I see today compared to maybe 10 or 15 years ago always ask why. Why do you exist as a company? What is your purpose? Even though it's a what question, it's really masked in a why. Ultimately, the companies that succeed in recruitment, retainment, and creating that culture that we often talk about have the ability from the top down to be able to answer why at all aspects of the business. So I feel like that's a huge shift now compared to, a decade or two ago.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. You know, as an employer ourselves, we have had to change the way we hire. We've had to raise wages. We've had to offer flexible work schedules. And, many individuals nowadays are also looking for a sense of belonging. They want to know, how are you engaged in community as well? What creative strategies have you guys utilized to retain as well as obtain new talent?
I'd love to take that one if I may.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that you often are doing your best to do, even in interviews times, is how do you connect yourself with who you're looking to hire? And one of the things that you do in interviews, you have to have the time to not only see if they qualify, but if you're qualified to be their employer.
Absolutely.
One of the things that
Fit
we
into
all
that organizational culture.
Absolutely. One of the things that we try to strive for in our organization is that we strive to say that we're an employer of choice, which says people want to work for us. People want to be here, not just because of money, it's of culture. One of the ways that we have allowed that's been really successful for us is, what are the ways that we can serve you in your future? What are the ways that we can serve you in your dreams and your goals? And that has allowed us to partner with so many different young people and, people who are having different career changes. And then it allows us to become part of their growth, to the point they'll grow outside, but then they'll also want to grow inside and not really leave, because of course you want to try to do your best to keep people who stay and always want to stay until they can't stay anymore. Dr. Boyd, who's our GM here, him and I often have a difference. He'll say they're growing and they're moving on, and I'm like, but they quitting, and they've been here all this time, and we done grown and grafted ourselves and together. Now they're gone. So we want it to be, a part of the family. John Maxwell, one of his laws is, you have to ask them for their heart before you ask them for their hand. And when you do a good job at doing that, people want to stay. So that's one of the ways that we try to do that.
Excellent point.
I love that. So to your point, talking about your career with your leader, your manager, is the right thing to do. And they should be talking to you about what you want to do with your career. So that's where we try to focus when you think about performance reviews, you're talking about what happened 12 months ago,
Absolutely.
right? But when you want to talk about a career and keeping people, let's talk about 12 months from now, like where you want to be.
Absolutely.
I think if you break down any business, it can be, I'm an engineer, so I like to take complex things and break them into small modular things. There's really three fundamental drivers to any business. One is, in today's world, one is we're trying to do more with less. Everybody's trying to automation, robotics, AI, trying to figure out how we can leverage technology to basically scale and escalate or amplify the business. Number two is we're dealing with different ways to reach our customers. No matter what business you're in, ultimately you survive as a business by selling something to somebody. So different touch points to your customer. It used to be I put up an ad and I hopefully get a few prospects, leads, I close business and I move on to the next. It's not like that anymore. Obviously we've got social, mobile, and all the different channels that we have to utilize to reach our customers. And then number three, we're all dealing with this hybrid workforce kind of situation where we're having to be flexible and transparent in ways that we never thought we had to. So if you go back to your question, which is how do you recruit, retain, and keep talent engaged, you try to paint a picture on how they can impact each of those three buckets.
And in today's world, we're currently living in a space where there's 4 generations of the workforce
Yeah, absolutely.
in our offices. How do you respond to that based upon each individual generation has different needs and technically in some ways speaks different languages and responds differently?
Consult Google. Consult Google.
No, seriously. I mean, it's a challenge.
It is.
I find a great deal of value in having a diverse workforce, whether it's in race, culture, or age. And having those 4 generations allows each generation to learn from one another. How have you guys been responding to that?
Well, I think that's one of the things that we were talking about earlier in the back. Because often the dynamic is the younger are working for the older, or sometimes the older is working for the younger. We've seen both issues with both setups, but sometimes you kind of look at it, it has its level of moments of contention,
Yes.
and sometimes it's really dealing with the contention, but then again, how do you deal with the contention and then also prioritize your bottom line to a certain degree, because we're in business, you do business to make revenue and obtain a profit. So you look to try to see, okay, well, sometimes you would feel that the older generation does understand P&Ls and profits and things of that nature. But the younger generation understands the culture.
Yes.
And you want the culture to buy because the Gen Y, Millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Alpha, those are your new customers. Mm-hmm. So if you don't embrace the new generation coming up, and you have to have people who can speak to that generation, it's not necessarily just prioritizing younger, but we do our best to try to learn from older generations so that we're able to still speak to the culture, be relatable, but then also still maintain a business. So I think that's one of the ways that you want to prioritize what's important and basically do your best to try to have a good understanding of how you're able to say, okay, well, I'll prioritize relatability first and culture, and then go ahead and work towards bottom line profits and margins from there.
Have anybody in here ever been around a toddler or 2-year-old?
Yes.
Okay, so what are they focused on? Themselves.
Yes.
Right? And they think they want what they want when they want it. And so when you have multi-generations in the workplace, it's kind of like 2-year-old toddlers, because they think what they want is the only thing that's possible. And so communication or timeout is as best as you can get.
How you do timeout for like Gen X and Gen?
Listen,
I just want
go to your room and sit down somewhere.
To your office.
Come back when you
Come
feel
back when you're
better.
ready.
Sheree, I don't think that's
I'm
going to
gonna
work
try
in the
that.
workplace, but okay. I want to switch gears for a moment because each of you are entrepreneurial in some way. And we were talking about the millennials and things, and over the last few years, entrepreneurship has just gone through the roof. Individuals one of the many reasons why the talent pools have run dry is because many individuals don't want to go back to that regular old-time work schedule. So I want to talk a little bit about entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs, which I'm going to explain entrepreneurship in a moment here. I want to give the definition to make sure we're all on the same page, because that was a term that I wasn't super familiar with until actually a few weeks ago. So an intrapreneur is an individual who works on developing new ideas and products within the confines of the businesses that they work. They use their entrepreneurial skills, vision, and forward thinking into the role they have the company. They're also active in entrepreneurial career pursuits outside of their role within their company that they're working, which means they got a side hustle. Make sense? In addition to that, we have an entrepreneur, who is someone who designs and launches a new business, which means they can take action, which they take on all the rewards and risks that come with running a business. Now for you guys, I want to ask you guys about, what are your thoughts about the entrepreneur and the intrapreneur, and how do you respond to that when they're in your workplace? Because many of those individuals work for you every single day. And we all want to retain good talent, right?
That's right.
You can't fire someone all the time.
I'll take it first. So my organization is all about entrepreneurship. Most of the people that come to us have ideas and they think they're ready to go quit their job and start their business endeavor. And that's not what we actually encourage you to do. Really, the best opportunity is to, while you're working, is to develop those skills, learn what you can while you're in your employment, and then understand that if you were, envision yourself as the employee you would like to hire one day. That's kind of one of the ways that I like to embrace or, just kind of share with people that are thinking about making that transition. While you're working, use that opportunity to learn everything that you can. Yes. Develop those skills, because you own your skills. Your skills are what you use you could either be self-employed, you could create a scalable, sustainable business model. Everyone today at some point may have to explore entrepreneurship. I have a client that's been unemployed actually for a while, going on almost 2 years. Really wanted to go back into the workforce. She's working, but she's working as an independent consultant, as a contractor. So it is kind of the new way of how we work, and we have to kind of embrace and allow people to have those opportunities. People work and have side hustles. It's just the new way of how we work. Yeah.
That's a great point. I would add a couple of comments there. One on the intrapreneur side. I'll give you an example. I have an engineer who's 26 years old and one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. We build AI software. We leverage technology to solve business problems, is ultimately what our business is. So we have a mission, we have a vision of where we want to be in a year, 2, 5, which will probably never be reached, but we have one. And so this particular individual comes to me and says, hey, I just ran into a really interesting company. What do? They make sustainable dog bones, okay? It's called a Better Bone, very interesting. But it has nothing, so what he wanted to do is invest some time and energy into this, which had nothing to do with the vision and the kind of the mission that's laid out for the company. So it's a constant reminder to stay, in the lane that we basically have put, and some guardrails that we've defined. So it's a little hard, but at the same time, if we remind them to stay within those guardrails, it usually works well. For the entrepreneur, the hardest thing, and I'm one of those, the hardest thing to do is say no. It's the hardest thing for any young business, I don't care what industry you're in, is to say no, because you've got a customer, the customer's got his or her checkbook, if we still have checkbooks, out, and you're ready to basically engage, but again, you gotta think through, is the time and the effort and the energy I'm spending worth the return, and you've got to constantly check yourself to make sure you don't wreck yourself. Quote some rapper there.
Man, Robert, you so eloquent in your speech, man. I'm just trying to start holding my mic. I'm gonna answer the question. I want to talk like Robbie for a second. So, I think one of the things that we talked about earlier is you have entrepreneurs that, because of the economy, you have to be an entrepreneur. One of the things that we were taught is that there are a lot of things that are taught, but some things are caught. And when you think about how all of this works, is when you have a company, you're smaller on the staff side, you need leadership who can take ownership. You need leadership who can say, hey, I have it. My department will be my little company, my internal corporation, and I will run it and care for it just as such, not just the money, but the people. So when you think about being an entrepreneur who then is also an entrepreneur in a company, they're some of the best employees that you could have, because first thing is you have a common goal. The common goal is to grow as a company, and your common goal is to grow as an individual or grow as a CEO. So if you're a mini CEO or a mini person in there who is trying to make sure that my leadership is well developed, you do that under somebody else's tutelage, somebody else's company, and you do it to where you're able to take certain risks that you couldn't take because you have to see if you can say no. Because again, as being an entrepreneur, you're not always able to say no because you have to be able to say yes to particular bills, So when you think about it all, it's an entrepreneur and entrepreneur, they go hand in hand for the success of particular companies, especially today.
I think you're getting some applause there.
Awesome. He clapped. You saw that?
I'm not sure why he's up here. No.
Well,
He works here.
Exactly.
Let's switch gears for a moment, if you don't mind. Not a day goes by when we're not hearing something about AI, ChatGPT, and other artificial intelligence. That's just the hot topic right now. And most recently, I think last week, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman actually testified before Congress as Congress is beginning to examine and explore and think about regulations as well as potential pitfalls of AI. So I want to ask you guys, what industries do you perceive AI will impact the most? And do you believe it's going to benefit businesses or be a loss to workers? Or maybe a little bit of both? That was a lot of questions in one, right?
It's going to be our superpower, to be honest. I think it's going to be our superpower. One of the things when you think about it is, even in the workforce, and Robbie probably can answer this question better than I can because he's an engineer, but you are able to do things that you didn't learn, and just simply ask a question. It's not all of us are writers, but there are things that are able to tell you, hey, just write something for me, and ChatGPT is $20 a month, versus having to pay somebody $25 an hour. And it kind of lines everything up for you from there. So I think it's part of our superpower. It scares some people, absolutely. But I think it kind of can be our superpower if we let it.
The first question was, or is, what industries? All of them, every single one. Pick one, all of them. Hands
I certainly
down.
have seen them at McDonald's.
But you also have to think about what, as an example, ChatGPT really is. If I say, let's go back to a nursery rhyme thing that we all learned in grade school. Mary had a little, what's the next word?
Lamb.
How do we know that? We were programmed, right? Right? We all were programmed to say, everybody, not one person said anything other than lamb. That's ultimately what ChatGPT really is. It's a probability matrix that's happening in real time. So when you ask the question, ChatGPT, please fill out the next word in Mary had a little. What ChatGPT is going to do, the tool, the algorithm does not have the experience that we have collectively or individually in this room. What ChatGPT is, I'm a nerd, so I used to read old World Book encyclopedias when I moved here from India, because from 1967 to 1977, because that's what my parents could afford. But that's really what ChatGPT is basically if you take the aggregation of all the content that's ever existed on the internet and a bunch of other sources that are academic, it says, oh, what's the chance that the next word is lamb versus cat? Well, cat is 62% based on what I found in my data versus 98.99% with lamb. That's what it is. So to say all that, I really just want to emphasize it's a tool, it's a superpower, but it's not the be-all, end-all.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk for a second on the people side. It can also be the kryptonite. ChatGPT in particular, I haven't looked at anything else, but there are things that you might get false data. And if you don't know how to check it or to ask additional questions, you may think that is the answer, and then you move on, and now you're working under false data. Companies, larger companies, I can think of 2 or 3 right now that have already put in a policy for their employees that they cannot use ChatGPT at work. So it's something I love, especially for business owners, because it becomes your business owner's best friend. It can do things you don't want to do or can't do, but also know that there are some limitations. And if your employees are using it, make sure they're not putting in personal information or information about your business, because once it goes in, it's searchable and discoverable by anybody who's using it.
There's some mics out here, absolutely.
I thought we had a mic.
There are some mics out here, aren't
The
there?
lights are very bright. I'm sorry, I don't see them.
Yeah.
But go ahead, absolutely.
Or stand up, yeah.
Like a spell check program that, that checks the AI program? Is that out yet? Or should I just-
Robbie.
Sure. There's all kinds of checks and balances, right? Look, who in the room does not have Netflix? Probably maybe 1 or 2 people. Everybody's got a Netflix account, or at least share one from somebody. Mine shared 9 different places. The personalization engine, so because you watched show X, it recommends show Y and Z and whatnot. That's a form of AI. That's a checks and balances. You may not agree with it, but it's something. Just like with ChatGPT, there's tools like Poe, Alpha, and now even Google's Bard that basically will say, does this look like a machine? It's kind of ironic. It's a machine checking another machine's work to validate whether it's a machine. So it's kind of the circular argument. But there's a number of tools out there that will validate or verify or minimize credibility to that content.
Robbie, you said you can check if you use AI? Yes. I don't like that. I don't like that.
You're in trouble. So let's talk a little bit about the employees or workers. How is AI going to impact them, and how can they prepare for these new opportunities that are out there related to AI? Because this is going to change the job market. A lot of jobs are going to go away. They won't need as many workers now that AI is in place. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, don't you want to kind of empower them to use the superpower to a certain degree? I mean, because there's a way for you to tell them how they can and cannot use it, but there's a certain way that you can help allow it to make them stronger. Just like Robbie talked about, the predictability or the predictions that AI does for Netflix is something that I think a lot of people benefit off of. So the same thing almost equates to really having people work and use it. Using AI to help motivate, to help the creative idea, to allow them to take some pressure off. Because anybody can think well if there's not a whole bunch of pressure. So that can kind of help in regards to that. I mean, but now he said you can check up on it behind it. So it's like, now they go to pressure back again. So now what we do from there?
I was just...
Just asking, you did it.
I like you, man. We talked about engagement earlier, right? Engaging work directly translates to engaged employees. So it depends on, kind of, again, contextually, how does it impact workers? I'll give an example. We built an AI tool for an architectural firm here in Atlanta that does image classification. So it takes a electrical drawing versus a, plumbing drawing versus basically it classifies blueprints based on the type of blueprints they are. Before the AI, there is a human that still validates and verifies, but it basically says, oh, that's easy, based on certain parameters that we fed into the model, that's definitely an electrical drawing. And then it just moves files, automatically. Imagine having to do that work all day long. So now this particular company can utilize that resource in a very different way, in a much more engaging way, versus what the rote and kind of mechanical work was earlier.
Oh, there we are. Go ahead, sir.
Larry King here, STEM News Chronicle. Artificial intelligence was created by an individual or group of individuals using an algorithm. So why do we call it artificial?
I wouldn't even know how to answer that.
And the other question I wanted to touch on also, the relationship between AI and job creation. Is it a job creator or a job killer, in your opinion? Thank you.
That was going to be my next question, so excellent question. Thank you for raising that.
That's me.
No.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Why don't we ask AI?
You want to ask ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, can we ask ChatGPT?
Yeah, let them answer themselves. Why? What do it mean? Why they call it artificial when somebody else made it? Can we pull ChatGPT up, guys? And what was the question again, so we can ask? Your question got longer. Hold on. So
I think they're collecting it. I think
why
they're
is
collecting it.
why is AI called AI if it's not artificial? Let's type that in and see what happens.
When it was created by human.
Yeah. Pressure's on.
I know, right?
Typist.
Who typing for all these people?
I know. There we go. It refers to the fact that AI is created and developed by humans rather than naturally occurring or evolved like human intelligence. It highlights the distinction between human intelligence and intelligence exhibited by machines.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. It said it.
But
That's
to
what you
his
were gonna
point-
say.
That's what I was going to say. Because me and Robbie was looking at each other like,
To his
I don't
point,
know.
in this day and age, we talked about the 4 generations being in the workforce, right? With that being said, we're still very much in this space where there's a digital divide.
Yes.
So that's a very real thing for people.
Yes.
How are we going to be able to navigate individuals that have high tech, low tech, and no tech when we're moving into the space of AI?
So my Tyler example didn't work? No? Okay.
They're gonna come in kicking and screaming, is that what you're saying? Right.
Absolutely.
So it's really a matter of forcing them into those spaces, but go ahead.
Well, you almost
Yeah.
sometimes, how often have we had meetings after meetings that say that there's a transition that needs to happen, but because we have the generations that have to work with each other, that there's going to be some type of hindrance towards changing something. Everybody deals with that in an organization. So, but then again, you have to then prioritize what is the purpose of doing these said things. Because either you're going to make a transition because it's necessary, or you're going to make a transition because you're told to do that. And ultimately, you want to be a part of the transition, so you'll do it when it's necessary, and then you learn how to take care of it. But ultimately, that's going to be driven, we all are business people, it's going to be driven by the culture of your business. Right. And if the culture of your business demands for something to happen, then you'll need to do it. And the hope is that your culture allows for there to be a learning, a joy, an appreciation for the change, and then an embracing of the change, even if you have to go to your timeout place, like she said.
But wouldn't you agree that because we as a country have not prioritized technology
and ensure that every community has had access to technology. It's going to lead large populations of people outside of those job opportunities because they don't necessarily have access to the technology to have the opportunity to learn.
Just made that question real deep.
I'm sorry, we have a question in the audience. Oh, no? Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, Robbie had a
Robbie.
I was just going to add, I think at the end of the day, it boils down to connectivity, right? I used to own businesses in Oklahoma, of all places, and I was shocked when I'd never been to Oklahoma before we bought these businesses, and I was shocked at the lack of connectivity options in the state of Oklahoma, fairly rural. It wasn't Oklahoma City or Tulsa. It was actually a worse situation than what I see back home in India. That surprised me. I live in my bubble in Sandy Springs here, so it all boils down to connectivity, and also you use the word gravitate towards change or adapt change. I remember when I was in school, like they forbid calculators. Oh, you can't use a calculator because you're not going to learn anything. My kids, I have a 16-year-old daughter, I mean, not only do they use calculators, they use, literally a Chromebook for everything they do. So there's incremental gains, but we still have to do a lot more to leverage technology and not look at technology as a if-then, but an augment kind of thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
So to go back to one of the things that Sonia said, so do we talk about how will it be easier to interject technology? Because now technology is getting super inexpensive. There used to be a time a laptop would cost you $1,000. Now you can get a Raspberry Pi for $50. And it's at that time, it's really just kind of giving people tools and pushing them to learn how to expand on it and use it. So that's one of the things that I think as we grow through technology is that as technology is getting deeper, it's also getting a little bit less expensive for you to be able to access some of the technology. So I think it's helping with the gap. But then again, and this is another thing about the generational part, if we don't have a generation that understands technology is no longer scary. There used to be, they still think technology is scary. So they won't do the research and show that computers are getting super inexpensive to purchase nowadays. So
But when you have to choose between food and a computer,
Correct.
you're
Or
going to choose
daycare.
food. Let's go to a question in our audience before you make a comment. Go ahead, sir.
All right, Mark Shaky, how you doing? So I'm gonna start off with the question first. AI, would that be compatible to pagers, cell phones, and computers?
good question.
Reason for the question, when I was a kid in the early 80s, if I got caught with a pager, I was a drug dealer. Then in the 90s, if I got caught with a cell phone, I was still a drug dealer. But then when computers happened to communicate, I couldn't afford internet.
Yep.
Now, I have a grandchild that's doing homework. He's afraid to use AI because he get all the answers right, and he don't want to be accused of using AI. So I was accused in the 80s and 90s. Now he's been accused with the option to use AI.
Thank you. Excellent points. Panel? Oh,
We have another question or a comment?
I think that was it.
I have a comment about AI.
1 second, allow us to answer the question first, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
That's
go
quite
ahead,
all right.
Rob.
Thank
No,
you.
no worries. Yeah, AI is scary, right? If you look at, let's compare them to pagers or cell phones or the steam engine or electricity or even the internet. Every innovation, we were talking about this on a conference call a couple of days ago, every innovation till now, we've had some level of control. If you look at the history of humanity, and when we came up with this idea of a wheel or a tool, we still had control of how we were going to use it, when we were going to use it, how we were going to leverage it in what situation. This is the first innovation in human history where we've had to relinquish control to a machine. That's why you're feeling and hearing and getting pushback from all the media and all the buzz around AI, because this is scary. It is actually very scary, because people are like, man, I'm gonna have to figure out how to work in this world instead of controlling this world. And it goes back to a control situation.
Absolutely.
Excellent point.
1 second, allow us to allow this young man. This guy was first?
Oh, this gentleman over here. Okay.
And then our friend over here, and then him after. Go ahead,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, in about 3 weeks or so, we'll be reopening our ice cream shop. And so it's just a simple question I want to get y'all opinion on. One of our business partners says, go cashless. And I'm saying, no, we still need to use cash. I want to get your input on that.
I would say listen to your business partner. That's me, but I'll allow our panel to respond.
In this day and age, I mean, 2 carries cash often, but there's just so much liability in carrying cash. You know, so in having a business, you kind of want to make sure, and that's a thought process of understanding in today's age what's best for you to guarantee and keep, you know, your revenue. And one of the best ways to understand is that your revenue stays within technology, because cash can get lost, cash can get taken. So that's my recommendation.
Improves safety for your employees. that are
Absolutely,
working
it doesn't
there.
put them in danger.
Yeah.
Were you saying that it's an either or can you do both?
I'm saying, I went and I asked someone else about their business, and I said, how much cash do you take in versus cards? He said 75% cards, 25% cash. So when I heard that, I said, well, that's a lot of revenue, 25%. So I'm thinking, you know, what do you guys think about that?
If you could do both, my opinion.
Mine too.
If you had to choose between cashless and cash, I'd do cashless, because I have cash in my pocket, but I'm a 51-year-old brown man with a receding hairline. You're selling ice cream. I'm not your target market. Your target market are kids, the Gen Z and below or above, depending on how you look at it. They're not going to carry cash. Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, pick one, right? All of them.
I still like you very much, Robbie.
We have a couple
You're
more
like my
questions
tech
in
crush.
the audience. I want to make sure we
You're my
get to
tech
them
crush.
because we are actually over time, and I'm mindful of it, but I want to get to everyone if I possibly can. Sir, you had an additional question, or did the gentleman over here?
I'm a pass. I wanted to make a comment. I wanted to get your opinion more about AI, the direction that it's going in. Do you think that it's going to be beneficial for society or what at this point? Because at this point, my opinion is that it's not. I think that it's going to create a lot of problems in time to come, for the simple fact that it's going to get in the wrong hands, and it's going to create a lot of harm to people as far as when it gets into the hands of the criminals.
Did his mic die? Hopefully not.
I think his mic's out.
My mic is out.
Oh, you're back.
I think it's easy to be manipulated. You know, they already got this thing where they could change your voice, where people could call your house to tell your mother that you've been arrested and you need $1,000 right away for bail. And what mother's not going to give up that money if she hears the right voice about her son or her daughter? I mean, there's more than, that's just an example.
Sure.
But it's a lot of ways that thing is going to be manipulated, and it's going to hurt more than it's going to help.
Of course.
In my opinion, I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but you know, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it.
And I understand why. That makes sense.
At this point, anyway.
Yeah, well, thank you for that
I
comment.
mean,
Thank you.
iRobot is absolutely possible if you've seen the movie.
Of course,
you
one
know,
of my favorites.
It's absolutely possible. Yeah.
And really, just to touch on the gentleman's point, my question is this. Does AI have the ability to learn on its own from mistakes or what have you? And eventually, will it, basically become conscious itself?
I think that remains to be seen, but that's an excellent
Such a
point.
good
Does anyone
question.
want to comment on that? And then, I'm not sure, but I believe I'm going to need to wrap this up because we're a bit over time. Did anyone want to make a last final comment on the gentleman's question?
I think I'll piggyback with the other question, which was, why is it artificial when a human created it? I think that's a really valid question. Never heard that question before, so that's awesome. I would argue, I would say, I would rather use the word artificial versus the word intelligence, right? If you look at us as humans, what's the one thing we are? We're generally adaptable. We can adapt pretty quickly to situations, right? All of a sudden we're homeless because our house got hit by a tornado and we need to deal with that. We generally will deal with it, right? So AI is good with functional, very tactical, siloed kind of tasks. I need to beat another human in something called chess. Chess has a fundamental set of rules. I can program those rules in an algorithm. I can basically go through all those permutations. I can beat a human pretty quickly. The game Go is a much more complicated version of chess, or same thing. We taught a machine how to beat a human in chess. But when it comes to the things that we bring, adaptability, perseverance, strength, you can't create it. You can't create it, right? So yeah, we'll get closer and closer, but this thing in between our skulls is here to stay, I think.
I'd love to just ask Robbie a question, though. So doesn't AI still learn? It's learning by our patterns. So to answer your question directly, AI is learning. You know, everybody has had their iPhone or some people may still have Androids, and they have the, you're having a conversation, and you go to Amazon, and it's like, I was just talking about a pot. And that pot is on Google, Amazon, it's on my IG, it's on my TikTok. So it's listening to you and learning you, and there are ways for it to be beneficial. And I don't know about anybody else, but when I see those predictions and the AI telling me about a product I'd never know about if I didn't research it, and it's learning what I need and then showing me what I need, I want it to learn a little bit more. Now, computers are computers. The day that it's, I'll go back to the iRobot kind of conversation, the day that it starts to choose for me and tell me, we're going to drive you this way instead of that way, then we'll, cut it off. But before then, hopefully you can.
Right.
The movie, though. So that's something that you kind of want to look at. But learning I think that's one of the benefits of AI, because it's not always going to think we think a little slower than computers.
Absolutely.
So it'll predict things with us. Your Apple Watch can predict particular things about your health. So it's learning
We have
your
another
pattern.
question, Adam. I'm going to cut you off, and then
Go
we're
ahead,
going to
sir.
take this gentleman, then we're going to wrap this up.
Perfect.
Go ahead, sir. Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you so kindly for all the great information that you've provided this audience, and I think they deserve a hand clap. Let's give them a hand clap, guys. Job well done. My question is real quick. The concept of disruptive thinking has been in circulation a great deal these days. How do you think that concept has or is impacting the workplace?
Why don't you define disruptive thinking so that we're all on the same page in this
Perfect,
audience as well?
perfect.
Thank you so much.
Well, disruptive thinking implies that the way things used to be done, they need to be changed. And so people are looking for alternative solutions to take the place of traditions. Sure. How things have been done, for generations. And so we see that concept really picking up, speed right now. And I just wanted to know what has been your experiences in terms of seeing that played out in the workplace.
Yeah. So I would say disruptive thinking really is critical to innovation. So if you can't think about, believe beyond what is happening like right now, the way we do things, then you'd be stuck status quo. So that's my opinion. I think it's a key to innovation.
Agreed. Other comments?
Everybody in this room understands even entrepreneurship. So to disrupt status quo is one of the best ways to help guarantee some level of success for your business, because you got to do things different. You don't want to just be another wheel. You have to do your best to find a different way to do something different. So one of the best questions we've had, disruptive thinking, and then using AI to help you disrupt it because you might not have full understanding, is one of the best things you can do today.
And real quick, encouraging people who work for you, going back to the entrepreneurial space, allow them to have disruptive thinking, not to disrupt your business, but to have disruptive thinking.
Absolutely. Well, that's all for us this evening. I'd like for all of you guys to give our panelists a round of applause. Thank you so much for joining us. I knew this would be a robust and interesting discussion. We thank you for your time, and thank you all for joining us today. Goodbye.
Well, we have a little bit more on the program this evening, but please give our panelists another hand of applause. This was very relevant information that we shared today, and it was awesome having our panelists go deeper, give us a little bit something else to think about, and walk away with something that is just in the news. Just yesterday, the gentleman had to testify before Congress for something that was just in existence, just a few months ago. So thank you guys for being here and for sharing. We appreciate it. But we have a little bit of information that we wanted to share with you about the Riverside Epicenter. We have some promotions coming up, and we want to make sure that we are doing our part to the C in Inc., to collaborate with our partners, our community members. We have a couple of promotions coming up from our Epi Fitness Club that are going to be now until June 1st. If you go out and register for the, I think it's a corporate membership, then you also get,
Guys, can you switch the computer?
Perfect. Loft Co-work. Again, my name is Kim Woodward, and I'm the Loft Community Manager. We have a co-working space called Loft Co-work, and I also manage the Loft Cafe. So I'll be looking for the recipients of the espresso drink to come and prepare your favorite drink for you. So promotions coming up. If you book your event by June 1st, then you can save 20% on your room fee. Can you say 20%?
20%.
Absolutely. Adam does not like giving up money. But if you book your event by 20%, by June 1st, you will save 20% off the room fee. Our next promotion is with a corporate membership with our EpiFit Club. Sign up for a corporate membership by June 1st and get your first month free. There is no other facility like our Epi Fitness Club. If you haven't been, you owe it to yourself to check it out. And we have a podcast studio coming up. Yes, I heard you. Isn't that awesome? Our podcast studio is coming soon. Get 30% off of your podcast studio membership for signing up. Adam, is there a deadline to sign up for it, or is it something that is coming soon?
It's coming soon, absolutely. We're taking our time to build it, because one of the things we realize in the culture that creating a good quality product as far as podcasts is concerned, that a lot of people don't have access to it. So we want to create that. We want to create full 4K access for people to be able to have podcasts that look just as great as somebody does on YouTube. So we'll be doing that here, and we'll put memberships and things of that together. So please copy it, do that, because we will not offer the 30% long. And then it's going to be a great product, so we're super excited about it.
Excellent. And another one of our promotions is for our Loft Co-work. Get a 1-month free membership when you sign up for a 6-month desk membership. So you basically are paying for 5 months and get 1 month free. And also, if you like an annual membership, purchase an annual membership and you get 2 months free. And that, our Loft Co-work membership includes a discount to an Epi Fitness Club. You get free coffee every morning, all day long. While the Loft Cafe is open, we always have complimentary refreshments for our members, and you get to work in a dedicated Wi-Fi. Just for our Loft Cowork members, you get a mailbox with a street address so you can use it for your business or your personal use. Again, a lot of perks to being a member in the Loft Cowork. So sign up by June 1st to take advantage of the current promotion there as well. And we have some upcoming dates for other events coming up here at the Epicenter. Every second and fourth Friday, we have Food Truck Village. Food trucks bringing menus that are not found on this side of town, typically in our community here in Mableton and Austell. We invite food trucks to come out and share their menus with the community here. Gateway to Atlanta, our next event is August 24th. We have our annual Trunk or Treat event, our tree lighting, the holiday brunch, and our 10th anniversary, which promises to be an amazing opportunity to, again, thank the community and welcome you out for to help us celebrate 10 years of being in business. So be sure to go to the Riverside Epicenter website, click on upcoming events to see this information again. Dr. Boyd, I turn over to you for the rest of the evening, and we have a drawing. Remember you had the your cards, be sure to pull your tickets out and get ready. Oh, you still have yours? Okay, you need to exchange it real quick, like real quick. Yes, upstairs, and we'll get you entered into the raffle that's about to take place now.
All right, guys, thank you, Kim. So appreciate you. Won't you all thank our panelists one more time? And I'll invite you all. You're welcome to exit back to the room if you like. Thank you all so much for being here. We are going to do the drawing here in just 1 minute. So if you did not fill out your card, time's winding up. Okay? So we want to encourage you to take advantage of that. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors. Is our BBI team, you all still here? Browner Business Institute, want to encourage you all to take advantage of the table that's out in the lobby area. Was the food good when you all were here today? Yep, good deal. So thank you. This was absolutely part of our BBI sponsorship for having the food here, but also Chef Donald, one of our caterers, provided the food as well. So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is Gateway to Atlanta, B2B Social. Grateful to have you. Listen, take advantage of these options, these opportunities, okay? All right? Listen, we did this for you all. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, right? Riverside Epicenter is here to serve. So Corey's coming now, and he's going to do this drawing. And again, thank you all so much for your time today.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. Oh, somebody said wait. Uh-oh. Yeah, did you get a ticket? Oh, man, hang on 1 second then. Hold on, we got to get you. Well, now, see, I gave those instructions when everybody got here multiple times, but it's okay. We gon' get you a ticket. It's okay, because I got some good stuff to give away. How about that? Actually, tell you what he was going to do. I see that you did it. You did the work. Hold on. Keep your card. Everybody got to keep their card, but I'm going to still make sure you get a ticket. So that way, because that was the whole point of the event, is to network and to meet everybody and collect their information. So I'm going to get you a ticket so that way everybody can hopefully win a prize, okay? This is going to be great, okay? Give me just a moment, everybody. I'm so sorry. All right, everybody, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for sticking around, because here comes the wonderful part of the evening, y'all, where we give away some prizes way better than the ones I gave away earlier. Let's see here. So does everybody have their tickets? Is everybody ready? We have a few more tickets coming for those of you who did not get a ticket. So hopefully, and y'all see I'm trying to make it as fair as possible. We're gonna see whose number is whose. All right, here's the first one. And the first ticket is ticket number 683450. Last three is 450. I can't see you. There you are. Oh, there you are. Me. All right. Boom, there you are. Now, tell everybody what you just won.
6-month membership for the Epicenter. Yay!
Hey, I told you I got some good prizes. Told you some prizes and surprises. Let's see what we got coming up next. Here we go. What'd you say? Oh. Oh, thank you, ma'am. All right. The last three on the ticket are 431. Yeah, my man in the center. All right, there you are. There's your prize. Ha ha ha. You like that, don't you? My man, tell everybody what you just won.
6 months membership at the Epic Center.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we have Miss Kim back out today. Oh, that is awesome. All right. Spin the wheel. Open it. Oh, it fell down. There you are. Oh, I'll pick it. Yes, ma'am. All right, and that ticket number, let's close that back up. And the last three is 425. Who has the last three digits? 425. Anybody? Way at the top. All right, give a round of applause for that individual that's coming all the way down the steps. All right. She has an awesome prize of one family fun day at our arcade and bowling center. Thank you, ma'am. All right, next up, I told y'all we got some good prizes. It was worth sticking around, right? All right, and next up, we have the last three digits on the ticket is number 427. Who has ticket number 427? 427. Going once. Ooh, this is a good one. Oh, they're not here. Oh, burn it. All right. Oh, there you go. We're gonna try this again. And this is a really good one, y'all. All right. Last three is 426. Who has ticket number 426? No one. Because this one here is a family pack for 4 to Six Flags. Oh, see, now you're talking. All right. All right. The last three on this one is ticket number 436. Who has ticket number 436? Yay, there we go. We'd like to thank you and say big thank you, big shout out to our corporate neighbors, Six Flags over Georgia. Thank you, ma'am. All right, here's the next one. 683, last three is 447. Woohoo! I love it. Hey, look at that. Somebody else is gonna go to Six Flags too. Look at that. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I love that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some more prizes and surprises. Here we are, everybody, and we're gonna go for ticket number 448. Right there, all right. Boom. Hey, we have another family fun day here at the arcade at Riverside Epicenter. Let me see your ticket. Thank you, dear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna keep the fun rolling right on along, literally rolling right on along. Ba-dum bumps. All right, and all right, we have ticket number 445. Ticket number 445. My man. I appreciate that. Oh. My man. Hey, there you go. Take your family to Six Flags. All right, we have two more prizes. Uh-oh. I believe it did. Yeah, it did. Oh, okay. All right. All right, here we go. Number 428. The last three are 428. Going once. Going twice. Gone. What she said. All right. Here we are. Next one is up is number 435. 435. Oh, see, you didn't stick around. Too bad, so sad. Here we go. Number 452. 452. Anybody? Last three is 452. All right. How about number 434? 434. Going once. Going twice. Nope. No 434. All right. Here we go again. How about number 446? All right. My man, number 446. All right. Here we are. Man, guess what you just got? Look at that. Tell everybody what you just got.
3-month membership to Epi Fit Club.
That is awesome. Our Epi Fit Club is amazing. We have over 2,200 members at our Riverside Epi Fitness Club, and it is wonderful. I'm here to tell you, if you've never been, you should come and check us out. All right, number 451. Ticket number 451. Oh, all right, there she is. And what did you win, young lady?
Complimentary day pass at Epi's Fit Club.
Nice. Day pass to the fitness club. We love it. Oh, let's see. We got a big one right here. Ooh. So this is awesome. So for all you entrepreneurs that are here, all you business owners that are here who are tired of, or you intrapreneurs, that's right, tired of your own four walls, tired of, sitting at home and, the kids are bothering you, the television's on, the laundry's distracting you. Well, guess what? This next one here is a 3-month membership to our co-working space, to our Loft co-working space. And that ticket number is 430. Ticket number 430. Yeah, look at that. We love it. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, gotcha. Ms. Kim is going to give you a little bit of information there. And we have one last. That was it? Okay. Awesome sauce. Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate your participation this afternoon. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a wonderful round of applause for sitting here, coming and participating, getting all of this wonderful information, and coming and checking out the Riverside Epicenter. Please, everybody, if you're unfamiliar with us, if you have not seen all of the building, if you would like a tour of the building, please don't hesitate to give any one of us a call, myself, Adam, particularly myself. We can set up a tour for you depending on whatever your business needs are. For events, family fun, corporate events, or anything of that nature, we are here to help. We're here to serve. Thank you so much for coming out to our second installment of the Gateway to Atlanta Business to Business Social. My name is Corey Webb. On behalf of the Riverside Epicenter, thank you so much.